Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I thought I would finally do a full overview of my complete Spirit Halloween Zombie Baby collection. I posted a brief video of my collection a while back, but since that video I've actually gotten quite a few new babies, some of which I've done short demo videos of, but others I just haven't shown at all. So this video is going to be both a overview of my collection as well as kind of an update video, so you all can see which new babies I have since acquired. So, without any further ado here, let's get started. So first up here we have Timmy Tumbles. He is originally from 2010. He is static in terms of motion, but his arms, legs, and body are wired internally for posability, so you can place him pretty much in any position you want. In terms of his other animations, his eyes light up and he has a single phrase that he speaks. Next in here we have the Ankle Biter from 2011. She is a crawling zombie baby, so she crawls across the floor. Her head turns side to side, she makes zombie baby sounds, and every so often will actually fall down and have kind of a temper tantrum before getting up and crawling again. So a lot of really cool animation we get out of her, and I really like her. She's one of my favorites. Next up here we have Devlin. He is static in terms of motion, his eyes light up red, and he makes some zombie baby sounds. I believe he was from 2010. Don't quote me on dates, I'm terrible at dates. It's probably why I never go on any. But next up here we have Brainita. She is from 2010. And she is static in terms of motion and everything. She does not have any animation. And she was probably the first actually gory zombie baby I had in my collection. And I distinctly remember my mother told me outright that I would never be allowed to own her. She was too graphic, too violent. And if I ever did buy her, I would be forced to take her back immediately. And being the good little child I was at the time, I went out and bought her immediately. But you can see she is still here in my collection, so it turns out in the end, I did not end up having to get rid of her. So, yay. But behind her here we have Jugular Jimmy. He is another fully static baby, got in 2010. And he is very special to me because he was actually the first zombie baby I ever bought from my collection. So he was the start there, and he may not move, but I think he is just really creepy overall. Coming up here, then, we have Gorius. He is, I believe he came out in 2017. Again, don't listen to me on dates. He is fully static, so no light, sound, or movement. But he is probably one of the better of the new zombie babies that have come out. I know people have had a lot of problems saying that the new zombie babies really aren't that scary anymore, which I do agree in some aspects, but there are a few that I think actually are very good, and this one here is probably one of the better ones. I would highly recommend getting him. He's definitely very creepy. On his back there, we have the Wiggler from 2011. He is pretty cool. You press his stomach, and his whole body will shake while he lets out some creepy maniacal laughter. Then here we have Chewie. He is from 2010. I got this one on eBay recently. He is a 2010 original model. And he is still in full working condition, which I know can be difficult to try and find for him. But in terms of his animation, he raises that severed hand up to his mouth, his head turns side to side, his eyes flash red, and he just makes some pretty horrific flesh-tearing eating sounds. So he is very cool. He is another that I would definitely say is in my top 5 favorites. Next up here we have Hung Up Hank. He is another new baby, I believe also came out in 2017. And he's one of the ones that I guess people say isn't really that scary and not even that zombie-like, which to an extent I agree, but honestly, he's one of the few that actually started to grow on me the more I saw him in my local store. So eventually I decided I really wanted to have him and picked him up. He is static in terms of motion and everything, but he can be hung up, as his name suggests, from pretty much any surface, like a pole, a ledge, a door, a window, whatever, and just looks like he's swinging around having a fun time. So while he's not the scariest zombie baby in my collection, he is still a welcome addition to it. Down here we have Tether. He is another one I picked up in 2010. I got a lot of these in 2010, you'll notice. He is static in terms of motion, but his eyes do light up, and he makes some grunts and growling sounds. Then we have the Runt here, who's fallen over for some reason. He is also from 2011. He is static in terms of motion, but his eyes do glow red, and he makes some creepy zombie baby sounds. Up front here, we have Spider Biter Billy. He is a new one from, I believe, 2019 is when he came out, or 2018, I can't remember. And he is made by a company that I don't think has made zombie babies for Spirit before, which is Crazy Create. They've only made 2 so far, and of the 2 they've done, I think he is probably one of my favorites. He is definitely really zombie-like, very creepy. Probably one of the best new zombie babies we've gotten in a long time, and one that I would highly recommend picking up if you like zombie babies. So next here we have the Wiggler Dummy. He is part of the alternative Wigglers that came out in 2012. He does the exact same thing as the other Wigglers. All of them do the same, but they all here depict different characters. This one here being a baby dressed as a pretty freaky looking ventriloquist doll. Behind him here we have Little Lucy. I think she first came out in 2009. I picked her up in 2010 again. She is not a zombie, as you can see. She is a devil. And her animation consists of her spinning her head a full 360 degrees, her eyes lighting up red, and she lets out some eerie wails and moans. Now, mine still is working perfectly. The only defect I have is that her eyes did unfortunately burn out a while ago, so they no longer work. But everything else works, so she is still very creepy in any Halloween display I put her in. Back here we have Doug and Phil DeGraves. This is the 2020 remake model of the original 2014 Doug and Phil Zombie Baby. This one's a little less detailed than the original in terms of blood and veins and coloring, but regardless, it is still a very cool concept, and I think whichever model you get, 2020 or 2014, is still really cool to have. So I recommend getting this one this year if you see him. Back here we have Angry Alice. She is another one I picked up, guess what year, 2010. She is actually my favorite of all of the female zombie babies. I just love her aesthetic. The fact that they made it look like she is just a sweet little girl in this poofy pink dress with the bows and the blonde hair, but of course she's not. She's actually a zombie. Is really cool. And as her name suggests, her animation is that her eyes light up red, she speaks a phrase saying, "Don't make me angry," and then her whole body will then begin to shake as if she is getting very mad. So, very cool, and definitely my favorite girl zombie baby. Back here we then have Giggles the Clown Zombie Baby. He is another one from 2011. And he is another one whose head does a full 360-degree spin, his eyes light up red, and he just lets out some maniacal cackling laughter. Then up here we have the Little Walker from 2014. He is a standing zombie baby on a base there, as you can see. And his animation includes his eyes lighting up red, his arms moving up and down, kind of reaching out to you, and making some kind of babbling baby talk. Next up here, then we have Snackin' Steve, who is from this year, 2020 actually. He is the second zombie baby made by Crazy Create, and is definitely the most zombie-like of the new zombie babies we've had in a very long time. He is definitely the kind of baby that I know a lot of people have really been hoping for in recent years. So, in my mind, I think Crazy Create could really be a big player in making zombie babies if they do in the future, especially if they continue down this road. And he is fully static, so he doesn't do anything. So down here we have Molly Dolly from 2011. She is very cool. Her whole aesthetic, if you didn't know, is based on voodoo. Most notably, she is holding a voodoo doll there. But her hair, if it stood up the way it does in the promotional videos like this with the top ponytail, really gives a resemblance of a shrunken head, which is very common in voodoo witchcraft. So very cool. She is static in terms of motion, but her eyes do light up, and she makes some creepy zombie baby sounds that actually progressively get more and more demonic the longer she goes. So coming down here, we then have Creeping Tommy. He is, I got him in 2011, I think, online. And he is fully static, but he is very fun to play around with because you can pretty much set him any way you want. Sometimes you can have him crawling up walls or on the ceiling. I know I've done that a few times. So even though he doesn't move, he is still very creepy and fun nonetheless. In front here, we have Sleigh Time, another one I got in 2010. He is billed actually online as a vampire baby, I guess? I don't know. He's purple skin. He's the only purple skin baby we have. So maybe he is. I don't know. But he is, again, fully static, but he is wired in his arms and legs, so he can be posed around and played with however much you want. So he's very cool. Next up here, we have the Vampire Baby. from, I think 2012 is when he came out. I don't know. He's very cool. He's one of the monster babies, which are still considered zombie babies, actually. And he's probably my favorite solely because of that bottle of blood he's holding. I just think that is both adorable and terrifying at the same time. So really cool design idea they had with him. Back here we have Goodnight Kiss. She is from 2010 also that I got. She is another head spinner baby. So her head does a full 360. Her eyes light up red, and she cries as well. The only problem mine is having is the lace is actually starting to come off of her nightgown. So I'm gonna have to have a needle and thread and try and sew that back on. But seriously, her hair is perfect. I don't know how after almost 10 years, but I'm not complaining. Next to her here, we have Demonica. This is the 2010 Demonica. She is static in terms of motion, but her eyes do light up red. And she makes some babbling baby talk. And a little fun bit of trivia, I don't know if you knew this, Demonica and Devlin over here are actually siblings. They both share the last name Bloodsworth if you look at their tags. So I believe they are the first non-conjoined sibling zombie babies, which I just think is very cool. Behind her here we have Frederick. He is from 2010. I recently got him on eBay. He is yet another baby that spins his head around. His eyes light up red and he speaks through a single phrase. He's one of the bigger zombie babies I have. Next to him here we have Alchie the Clown. I believe he's from 2011 too. When you turn him on, his arms will swing side to side. His eyes light up red and he speaks through 3 different phrases, primarily about cutting and stabbing things. And speaking of stabbing, we have Stabby here from 2013, I think? I don't know. He's probably my actual favorite zombie baby. His eyes light up red, and that arm with the knife actually does indeed stab not zombie bear, just teddy bear, although it's bleeding. It could be a zombie, who knows. But it actually does stab the teddy bear over and over. So he has probably my favorite animation, and it's just my favorite zombie baby overall. I really like him. Coming down here now, we have Dollface. She was sold in 2011. She's actually still available on Amazon and at Party City, I found out. But she is part prop and part costume, actually. You can set her up as a prop, but she also comes fixed in a baby harness that you can wear over your chest. And from the back, she looks like, you know, a normal baby. But when you activate her, her head will then spin around to face whoever you're standing in front of. Her mouth will move, her eyes will light up, and she will also speak through 3 separate phrases. So she is very, very cool. Down here we have, his name is Lawrence Fleshrotter, but he's originally billed as just the original zombie baby. He was the first zombie baby spirit ever sold. I don't even know when they began selling him, so I don't know the date for him. But he is pretty much the OG zombie baby, and he doesn't do anything. He's static, but he is definitely very scary, just, you know, sitting there. Down here we have Dante, sit up, or the Wiggler Devil. He is, of course, the same thing as all the other Wigglers. He shakes and laughs, but he is, of course, a little devil child, which is cool. So now we have 2 little devil babies in our collection. He's probably my favorite Wiggler, I think. In front of him here, we have the Gargoyle Baby from also, I think, 2013. Not the scariest, but probably another one of my favorites in terms of the monster babies. I don't know why. He's not that scary, but he's just kind of cute. I really like him. He was the last one in my store that I got during the 50% off clearance sale. So I grabbed him, and I'm happy I did. Next up here we have Funny Bone, or the Wiggler Clown, the last of the Wiggler alternative babies that came out in 2012. He, of course, does the same thing as all the other Wigglers, but he is a baby dressed as a pretty horrific-looking clown. I'm sure that would give Pennywise a run for his money in terms of makeup. Behind him here, we have Hungry Harold, another one I picked up back in 2010. He is fully static, but he is definitely very creepy. He's got his bib, he's got a spoon with a big old bite taken out of it. So very, very scary. I really like him. Next here, we have the Wall Crawler. One I got this year, but I believe originated in 2018. I don't remember. But he is fully static. He's very well made. He's very solid. And the cool feature about him is, as he's called the Wall Crawler, he actually has a hole under his diaper area that you can hang him from a hook or something on a wall. So it actually does look like he is crawling up and down a wall. So very, very cool there. In the corner pocket here, we have Bang Bang from 2011. She is very cool. You can hang her like Hung Up Hank from anywhere you want, except she is animated. Her eyes will flash and her head will swing back and forth, causing her to swing back and forth, and just kind of babble some creepy baby talk. Back here, we have Little Willy. He is from 2010 also. I actually got him for my birthday that year. He is fully static. He is, of course, covered in rats, kind of a play on Willard. But he is definitely very creepy. I really like him, and I think he has the best eyes out of any of the older original zombie babies. So, definitely very, very scary. And the last baby in my collection, for now at least, are the Terrible Twins, who I also got in 2010. That's when I got most of my collection, as it turns out. Yeah, of course, they are two zombie babies conjoined as one. And when they're activated, all four of their eyes light up and flash red, and they giggle in two separate voices. They actually have two audio tracks. Not many people kind of know that. I believe it's this baby on this side. He actually has two distinct laugh tracks, while the other one over here has one. But you can hear it when you activate them multiple times. Other than that, he is fully static in motion. So that is my current complete zombie baby collection. I do intend very much to continue collecting. I'm at 38 right now, if you can believe that. And I'm currently looking for two more to round it out to an even 40. And the two that I'm really hoping to find are Evil Ernie and Kitty Kath, who I know is notoriously hard to find, but I am determined. All of the ones here are pretty much in mint condition. I take very good care of them. I try and keep them working as long as possible. So they are all still in practically perfect condition. And I intend to keep them that way for a very long time. But if I am able to get Evil Ernie and Kitty Kath, I will definitely be making videos of them. And in the future, I will definitely probably continue getting new zombie babies or trying to collect more of the older ones if I find them for sale somewhere. So, thank you all very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Bit of a long one. I hope you stuck through it. But if you liked my collection, I would love to hear in the comments what your thoughts are. If you have any ideas where I might be able to find the two I'm looking for. And in the meantime, I will see you all next time.